youth competition or someone you're going to lead? Question.
Yep. All right, we have had Coach Kurt on here. Just raise your hand if you have any questions. Doug, go ahead.
Coach, good to see you. Congrats on being the AP Coach of the Year. I'm sorry I couldn't tell you the other day, but fear of surprise is better than no surprise for you.
I appreciate it, Doug. You know, coaching awards are a direct reflection of the hard work from the players and the success of the players, and certainly my coaching staff. I just truly believe I have the most talented assistant coaches in the league that grind so hard behind the scenes for this team. And then just the consistency of this team to show up each and every day and hang their hat on a type of play, a style of play that not everyone would be willing to be dedicated to, with it being defense, the tenacity that comes with how hard we have to play defense and rebounding. So, you know, truly honored, humbled to be named the Coach of the Year, but obviously, you know, so much of the credit goes to the players and the assistant coaches.
Thanks, Kurt. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Doug.
Does you have any questions?
So, you know, with Coach of the Year, JJ obviously got AP MVP, and then I saw Breezy also got Most Improved. Could you just talk about the seasons that both of them have had, and you know, how important this award is to both of them?
Yeah, let's first start with, you know, Brianna Jones. You know, remarkably, she continues to get better and better, building off a really good season in the bubble in 2020, but taking it even a step further this year with AT's injury, you know, thrust once again into a starting lineup role and such a pivotal role, and how we had to change our style really was one of the, she became one of the centerpieces that we wanted to play through paint. We wanted to play through that style. Such an underrated defender, one of the elite defenders in the league because of her knowledge of the game. So you just see how much she means, the reaction, the genuine excitement. That just shows how good a teammate she is. Her numbers are, you know, fantastic. She deserves this recognition. She deserves this award because she puts in the work, you know, to continue to improve. She's transformed her body, you know, you name it. She just continues to get better and better. And then there's JJ. Obviously, so excited for her as the AP MVP. You know, again, a two-way player, really impacts us at both ends of the floor. Versatile forward that had to move to the forward position this year and be away from the basket more, facilitate more, but still scores around the basket, still an elite offensive rebounder. And then defense, she anchors some of the stuff that we do around the rim. Great defensive rebounder. She gives us a shot blocking presence. But again, her growth this year, having to transition to the four, a lot more perimeter defensive assignments. A lot more on the perimeter, and she's really grown in that area defensively. So a two-way player, you know, her numbers are off the charts and is very deserving of the MVP by the AP.
It was after practice. Was that when everyone first heard the news?
Yeah, I was given the insight about JJ and Brianna Jones yesterday. Did not know about myself, so no one knew. On our team that we were going to announce that at the end of practice, and then it was a surprise to me.
Was wanting to speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Another part of the reason why you managed to find so much success in being Coach of the Year was also the bench production. How helpful was that towards making you like literally one of the most successful coaches in the WNBA?
Rafiq, you came in and out a little bit, but I think you asked about our bench. And again, the improvement of our bench is a huge piece of our post-Olympic break success. Natisha Heidemann is a spark plug offensively. She gets in passing lanes defensively. She can really shoot the ball and runs us really well off the bench. You have our energy wings and young wings and Kyla Charles and Dejanay Carrington that bring us an energy about them. They're feisty defenders. They continue to get better each and every day, and their improvement has really helped our bench. And then Beatrice, this underrated post player, a little bit overshadowed, doesn't always get the minutes extensions that she probably deserves because we have such dominant post players, but Beatrice Montpremier, Stephanie Jones, that, and now our bench has been truly strengthened by the return of Alyssa Thomas. So we're going to need them in this playoff series coming up, and how they play, how they impact us in the playoffs will be a big part of the story.
Thank you for your time.
Alexa, go ahead.
Hi, Kurt. I have two for you. First, when we talk about Bree's journey, we've talked a lot about how she took advantage of the opportunities of players not being there to really step into this role. And I know you've also talked about her just like getting in better shape, but how would you describe like the areas of improvement? I don't know if that would be like on the court or if it really is mostly like her just getting in better shape that she's demonstrated from, I mean, even in 2019, I think she maybe played the second fewest minutes on the team to now she's, like you said, a cornerstone of what you are trying to do on the court.
Yeah, specific skills, Alexa, certainly the translation from her college days as leading the nation in field goal percentage has translated now to the pro game. Took her a while, the size, the physicality all increased from her collegiate days. But now that she's used to it, she uses her body so well, she uses angles. She always has had great touch when she led the nation in field goal percentage or was in the top all the time. It's now really translated. And it just took a little bit of these years to play against the best players in the world. And now she scores against them. Now she can really go at them. So again, just a credit to her continuing to build her own confidence up. And again, this league is about being prepared and being ready for your opportunities. When JJ opted out, she was ready for that opportunity. When AT's injury came about, she was ready for that opportunity. Not all the players in this league are ready when their number is called. She has taken clear advantage of it, was rewarded this offseason with a nice contract with us. She was a priority for us. People wondered, potentially a backup post player, why was she so valuable? Now everyone sees she is a cornerstone of what we do. And again, can't stop talking about her knowledge of the game, which allows her to be an elite defender. We can't do what we do scheme-wise without her knowledge, without her effort defensively. She is so vital to what we do.
My second question was just if you could provide any update on Dawana and her back, and if she practiced today and how she's feeling overall.
Yeah, she's progressing well, getting better. She did practice in non-contact drills throughout our practice. We kept her out of some of the banging today, but she's progressing well and did practice segments of practice throughout today.
Thank you.
All right, does anyone have any more questions for Coach?
I love that.
Devin, go ahead.
Just, for this week in your practice, what's the typical self-scout and what are you hoping to improve on for next Tuesday?
Yeah, I think our players thought they were going to get away with a bunch of, a short film session or no film session today, and our film session actually ended up running long. So, again, credit to their preparation, credit to their professionalism to put up with a very scout-heavy, film-heavy coach. We did a ton of film on ourselves today. It is about self-scouting right now on both sides of the ball. We worked on common actions throughout the week that aren't specific to one team or the other, but common actions, some of the things that give us trouble, some of the things that we can improve on or maybe have slippage on. And then offensively, we worked on specific things today that we wanted to accomplish offensively, and I thought had a really nice practice. Considering still the game seems far out, we had a really good first practice back after a couple of days of rest.
Thanks, sir.
Maggie, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. With AT now having 2 games under her belt in a week until you guys play next week, how is she feeling after those 2 games? And is there any priority with her practice this week?
Yeah, just continue to give her reps, try to help get her game legs underneath her. I think it was really important then rolling her out for the first time in game 1 and expecting her to be AT. I think those 2 games are really going to help her. And then this week of preparation, we did a special situation late in practice where it was time and score. We simulated a time and score situation, and AT made the winning basket at the buzzer to win the game for her team today, and that's how practice ended. So it felt really good that AT made the game-winning basket at the buzzer. A lot of excitement to end practice today. And then with the AP announcement quickly after that to the team, there's a lot of happy people in our building right now. So, really pleased. 1 practice only. I'd like them to be in bubble wrap, but we've got to continue to prepare and keep this momentum and try to keep our game shape, game legs underneath us. AT had a real nice practice.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Any more questions for Coach? All right, Coach, well said.
Thank you.
Is this slippery to everybody else? Okay, nice setup. You guys about to see a show.
All right.
Too old to take those spills I'm not ready for.
All right, if you have any questions for Bree, raise your hand, I'll call on you.
Right here, in front.
So Bree, obviously really exciting end of practice. Can you just talk a little bit about what that moment was like? The whole team after practice finding out that JJ, Breezy, and Kurt won those awards, and really just what they all mean to this team.
I mean, we were finding out what we already knew, that these people are incredible, and they've been incredible this entire season. And it's great that they're getting the recognition that they deserve, because I mean, just being here watching them put in the work daily, and showing up every day. I'm super proud of them as a teammate, just to watch it. And I mean, we see all the work that goes behind the scenes, and everybody else just kind of sees the games, but to play at a high level, to coach at a high level, to be dedicated like that for an entire season takes a lot of work, a lot of skill, and I'm just, everybody is ecstatic, because they just all deserve to be praised for the work that they've done so far.
Alexa, go ahead.
Hey Bree, I was wondering if you could speak specifically about Bree Jones and the fact that she went from I think she played the second fewest minutes on the team in 2019. Obviously last year you were playing with her where she had an outsized role. Then this year she took on an even bigger role. What about her progression has impressed you the most? And also specifically on her defense, sorry, my puppy just went into a room she wasn't supposed to.
You can bring Kelly on the screen.
Oh, she's probably getting into something bad now. So
okay.
What specifically makes her such a good defender too?
Oh, I mean, well, with Bree Jones getting this award, I think she's always been talented, but I think it's when that preparation met opportunity, and she made the most of the opportunity. You never know when your name's going to be called, when somebody's going to get injured, and if somebody doesn't, come like JJ for the season, and you're thrust into a position. But her work prepared her for a time like that, and there's the puppy, and she's been able to play on a team and watch players like AT, watch players like JJ, watch great post players, and continue to grow her game. So she knew what she needed to do, and then work her talents, because she's so different from them, into our system, which she's done amazingly, just flawlessly. But I think her as a defender, she's, I don't know if it's talked much about, but she sees it all, as a post player, everybody is in front of her, and we rely on her so much to talk. She is our voice, behind. I know for me, I'm just very grateful for her, because I would get blasted by a million screams if I didn't hear her be like, Bree, she's constantly talking to me, which allows me to be a good defender. you know, and like having that voice. But she has a good feel for the game. She has a good flow for the game. She's always playing big. She takes up space. Yeah, she's physical. She gets people out of their spots. And, you know, you can't be a good defender without finishing plays, and she rebounds the shit out of the ball. So like, or if she doesn't, and that's another thing. When it was a couple of weeks ago when they were like, oh yeah, she got her first double-double. She should be awarded a double-double because she's the reason we get the rebounds. Like, she's the one that gets the big girl off the boards, out of position, so everybody else can swoop in and get the rebounds. Like, she's one of the reasons we're such a great rebounding team, is because she gets position, gets them off the boards, and then she gets her, you know, awards anyway. But yeah, all of those things. You know, she brings a lot to our team, and I'm very proud of her.
Have you seen her confidence, just because she's kind of soft-spoken, at least with us, but do you feel like I feel like she's the sort of player where her games probably speaks louder than herself, but have you seen that too grow over, golly, stop. Have you seen that grow over the last year or so?
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of that's from, you know, I mean, we are constantly feeding her positive, you know, reinforcement, because we know what she can do. We know what she's capable of. And, you know, it's just her taking that and showing up and bringing what she can do and bring every game, and she has been. So yeah, I mean, we're not a big trash talking team, aside from maybe Kurt, but I mean, we like to let our game talk for us, and she's a great example of that.
Thank you so much.
Rafiq, go ahead.
Hey, Breon January. How do you feel that you have developed as a player from since last year when you had to work your way towards getting to semifinals in the first two rounds compared to this year where your team was the top seed, almost perfect at home and undefeated in the second half?
Wait, can you say the first part of that question again?
How do you feel that you have developed yourself as a player and a human being after a year after your way towards the semifinals during the season where your team was number one in the WNBA, almost perfect at home and perfect in the second half?
Me individually, or how our team has gotten better?
You individually.
I mean, I just always try and bring what I can bring to elevate our team, and you know, I do feel like I have thought my defense has been really good this year, you know, and when being matched up against big time scorers, done a pretty good job of shutting them down. But also just finding a flow within our offense, just being more familiar. I think that's allowed me to be more successful and get to my shots and learn where I can get my shots and where I can get other people their shots, just understanding our offense a little better. But yeah, you know, just continuing to put in work and continuing to learn the game and the people around me on my team, so I can help to put them in positions to be successful. And I think I'm continuing to do that, and hopefully we can all do that leading towards the playoffs here.
And since it's your teammate Dejanay Carrington's first WNBA playoffs in her WNBA career, how you think that she's practiced on her way towards the playoffs?
She's been great. You know, we myself included, myself especially, I continue to challenge her. You know, I know what she can do. I coached against her when she was at Stanford, when I was coaching at ASU, and I really want her to be successful, and I know she can. I know the level that she can play at, and she's getting there, you know, and like I spoke to, it's just figuring out, is understanding our system and putting your game into our system and seeing where you can be successful. And I think she's finally feeling that out and getting her rhythm. So I'm excited to see how she's going to contribute, how, you know, Kyla's going to contribute. You know, it's been fun watching them, you know, improve throughout the course of the season.
Appreciate your insight and good luck.
Thank you.
So I wanted to ask you about just the defensive identity. So the team ended the season holding opponents to like 69.9 points a game or something like that, which just seems crazy in 2021 when teams are getting faster and the game is changing. Can you just talk about like thinking back to the beginning of the season and preseason, and you know, when you guys all really had to have a conversation about, you know, switching, kind of making that switch to a defensive team. Did you guys see yourself becoming this, defensive monster this year? And, really like what improvements have you seen over the season?
Don't ruin my interview. I was just talking shit about you. Anyway, well, I wasn't here for preseason, but I was watching training camp, and I know there was an emphasis from day one, and talking to Chris during training camp. I knew those were things they wanted to emphasize going in, and I knew we had the ability to be a great defensive team, with our length, with our athleticism, with our size, with our physicality, and our preparation. I think we have the pieces to really we had the pieces, still do, to be a great defensive team, and then we put it together. And it just takes being dedicated to that side of the ball and just putting in the effort. But yeah, it's been something we have not let up on the entire season. We always go back to that. There's always areas where we can improve, where we're picking it apart, we're dissecting our defense, where we can get better, where we're struggling. And so we haven't let up in our, pursuit of excellence on that side of the ball the entire season. And I think that's why we've continued to be successful, because we're not settling on being just an average defensive team. We want to be great.
Mm-hmm. And, I know a lot of the vets were already really great defensive players, but is there anyone in particular on the team, whether it's one of the vets or one of the younger players who you've seen really kind of commit and lock down this season and have really improved defensively?
Oh man. I really think I could go across the board. I think there's been quite a few games where, teams have, targeted Natisha, but the way she's battled back and because she's challenged, we've challenged her, other teams have challenged her, and she's stepped up. She's becoming a better defender. I mean, she's always had great hands, been able to get deflections and everything, but I think she's really coming along. And I mean, challenging JJ, she's an MVP, but yeah, no, we got you got to play. She's got to play defense, and she's been killing it on both ends of the court, which is why she's the MVP. But yeah, I mean, I just think everybody at one point or another this year has been challenged defensively by our staff, by each other, and we just kind of we respond, and that's the great thing about this team. Is get with it or get lost, because we're headed in this direction, and I think everybody's just kind of jumped on board. So I think everybody's been great defensively.
Doug, go ahead.
Hey, Bree, good to see you. I'm curious. Coach said all the right things, obviously, about being named the AP Coach of the Year, but you've spent time coaching yourself at the college ranks. I'm just curious, are there things you see from him and the staff that makes him such a good coach, so to speak?
Yeah, for sure. We're around him every day. And I think what makes him a great coach is his preparation and his attention to detail. You don't see that everywhere, especially in the league. I mean, I've been lucky enough to play for some great coaches, and that's what they do. They prepare. He can break down, analyze a game, a team with the best of them, and he's prepared us and put us in positions to be successful every game because of his preparation and the time that him and the rest of our staff has put in to get us ready. So he does a great job with that. The way he sees the game, I really admire that, and I've learned a lot from being here from him.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Alex, go ahead.
Hi, Bree. Thanks so much for taking the time. I'm curious for you, looking back, early on in the season, were there any moments where it kind of clicked, this is a special group, whether it was in practice or a game, or was it just something that kind of kept coming together?
I think it was something that kept coming together. I mean, even before I got here, having a conversation with Luana and being we could really do something special with this. It's a good team. We have pieces. They're right there. I think it's just putting the pieces together. We had a great season in the bubble last year. We returned majority of our team. So it's just kind of And I knew we had a great team then, you know, a lot of people counted us out, still counting us out. And we just continued to put in the work, and we built off of that momentum from last year, and we came back having something to prove, because we knew we could get it done, and that's what we're trying to do right now.
If I heard you correctly, I think you said you had a conversation with Duana. Like, when was that, or was it in person or virtual?
I mean, this was when I was making a decision as where I was gonna go next, you know, and she decided to come to Connecticut, and she knew I was looking for somewhere else to go, and you know, she reached out and she was like, hey, like, I think this could be something special. And you know, I've known Duana for a long time, and you know, you look at the team, you look at how they're put together, the pieces they have, and I couldn't deny it. You know, I looked at it and I was like, okay, I mean, let's see, let's give it a shot. And once I got here, just I think what makes this an even like it just is a super special situation is just the people. You know, they're great basketball players, super talented basketball players, but they're just amazing people, and we're a family here. And so I you know, we're gonna continue to work together. We're gonna stay together throughout the rest of the season, and yeah, I think that's that's given us an edge so far, just to be able to handle the adversity we felt and we've experienced this year, and just to overcome it to get to this point. But we have a long way to go, and we're gonna stick to what got us here. So
cool, thank you.
Yep.
All right, any more questions? All right, you're up.
Bye, guys.
Your names here, raise your hands if you have any questions. Rafiq, go ahead.
Hey, DJanae, how you doing?
I'm great, how are you?
I'm fine. I just want to ask you, what are your teammates telling you about how difficult it is to go through a WNBA playoff run?
I mean, we're just focused on being the best us that we can be. We know that everyone's going to be a little bit more revved up, a little more amped up, and things are going to get more physical, but we've had just really been talking about focusing on ourselves and just sticking with what got us here. And
how impressed are you about the type of basketball year you had in 2021, from going as far as the Elite Eight in the Final Four last year to playing for a Connecticut Sun team that's literally the favorites to win it all?
I think that, I mean, I've played the role that we needed this season for the team, you know? I don't know, I'm happy with where our team is, and I couldn't have asked for, you know, a better group of vets to teach me the ropes and just to learn from and absorb so much knowledge from.
Appreciate your insight and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Any more questions for Dina?